Morning motivators, if you've recently taken up trail running, you're looking for apps to help you enjoy your trail running experience. Maybe it's finding routes, maybe it's keeping you on a route, maybe it's keeping you safe while you're on a route, or training for a trail running race. We've put together a list of apps that you're gonna find really helpful right here. So trail running is absolutely blowing up around the world. I 100% get it. Trail running is probably my favorite endurance sport to do because it's freeing, it's exploring, it's not being tied to a pace or a certain workout or intervals. You're just out in the world exploring, freely running. It's also really good for you because it's been shown that the more trails you run on, the less likely you are to get injured. I think it's a combination of the soft surfaces and the forcing of your body to move in side-to-side planes as opposed to just dead straight on the road. But there are some challenges to trail running. I remember when I first started trail running, because it wasn't super easy to find trails, I found one trail and basically that was the only trail that I did. But the fun is in going and exploring. So we are going to give you some apps here that are going to help you find routes, create routes, stay safe while doing it, and even train for a race if you want to go on that trail running adventure. The first app here is really no secret. It's the first app that people tend to download when they get into trail running and start looking at trails. It's ALLTRAILS, and you go to alltrails.com, and for free, you can navigate around your area and find some of the more common trails. You can search by difficulty. I find that if you're doing a run, easy and moderate are really good. If you're willing to walk and hike, then you can just include easy, moderate, and hard. The length you can search for there, the elevation gain, the time, the route type, everything here is really nicely done. The downside that I find to ALLTRAILS is that tends to be populated, depending on where you live, by a lot of short hikes. So you can actually zoom into this as an example. This is a 3.5K hike. This is a 5.3K hike. This is a 1.8K hike. And that tends to be the routes that you get. If you want to search for an actual proper run like 7 kilometers or longer, there are a ton of 7K runs in this area where we live, but only 3 show up, and they're different versions of the same one. There's a whole lot going on over here that aren't actually shared. For getting really off the beaten path, that's where I think the second app comes in, and that's where STRAVA HEATMAPS I think is really good. All you need to do, and this is free, you can search STRAVA HEATMAPS, and this will pop up, and you can search for your area. And the cool thing about this is that it's not limited to routes that people have created. It's just downloading all of the data that anyone has uploaded to Strava in the history of time. The brighter colors, those are more frequently used. The lighter colors are less frequently used. What I've experienced is that the less frequently used, the dark colors here that you really have to zoom in for, these tend to be the trails. These tend to be the more gnarly sections, and looking at this area down here, this is where some of the best trail running in the entire area is. Around here, again, really good trail running, and there's some connectors here that is fairly light, but these are excellent, excellent trails. So if I was you, I would start with ALLTRAILS just to get a bearing for some of the more frequently used trails that you want to go on. And these are going to be probably the ones that are also a little bit more, I'd say, safe and serviced really well. But if you want to get off the beaten path and create your own loops, then go on Strava Global Heat Maps. If you start getting off the beaten path, however, and doing really big ultra trail running or getting a long way out, that's where I would recommend using an app like Never Alone. So let's say you do go off-road and you're doing some exploring and you want to make sure that you're safe. This is something that I have started doing lately, going onto fire roads where there have been moments that I've seen, holy smokes, like Hunter actually left a whole bunch of guts here. That means that there's going to be bears and nasty things that could eat me coming really quickly. I should be a little bit more safe. A great way to be safe is this next app, and full disclosure, I haven't used this yet, but I fully intend to. This is Never Alone Plus. How this works is you start an activity and you can set it up to send customized alerts to a loved one, to your version of No Triathlon Kim, so that if you're stationary for too long a period of time, it sends this alert letting them know where your GPS coordinate is, and if you're there for a really long time, well, maybe you need help and you can't actually get the cell phone service to call, or something's happened and you can't actually make that call. So I think this is a really good app. When you start wanting to really explore and have some maps, typically most people are using paper maps because that has fire roads, access roads, logging roads. But this is a way to get that on your phone. You can download all the maps, you can create all of the routes. Full disclosure, I haven't used this yet because I haven't started going on really gnarly trails. But as I start exploring and I don't want to carry this big, enormous map that I have to fold and unfold, this is going to be the app that I use. Finally, if you want to start training for a trail run and you want to get the preparation and the plan to do it, I'd be silly if I didn't recommend our app, because there aren't that many trail running plans out there that are in a nice app form that are flexible for you. So we created trail running plans in our app. All you have to do is click add a race. You can go awesome trail run, add the date of the race, put the date, select the distance. You can go all the way up to 50K, 50-mile ultra running adventure. Create your plan, and it's going to guide you for roughly how much training you need to do for whatever your goal is, whether you just want to risk maybe not crossing the finish line, or just cross the finish line, or cross the finish line feeling strong, or you want to head for the podium. It's going to give you a guideline for how your week needs to be laid out. And you can always move this around for your schedule, no problem. And the training plans have been written by Ryan Hall's run group at Run Free Coaching. He's an Olympian, and they are very balanced with strength training, with mobility training, with a light amount of training so that it's accessible for most people who are fitting it into their daily lives. They're designed to be really accessible for the average person, you and I. You can ramp up the training if you want, you can ramp it down if you want, but it's designed with practicality to fit within your schedule. So you can check that out. There's a link in the description below. Try it for free for 14 days if you want to do that. And if you have any questions about it, just DM me on Instagram and I'd be happy to answer any questions. So motivators, those are 5 trail running apps that I would fully recommend for building your routes, for getting your training in, for staying safe on your routes, navigating your routes while you're out there. Hopefully you found this helpful, and if you did, hit the like button below. Later, motivators.